Good evening. Welcome to the end of day market recap for Thursday, October 27th, 2022. Dan is on vacation, and what a day to go on vacation with Apple earnings and Amazon earnings. It's been a really busy after hours. Amazon, they beat on earnings, missed on revenue, they guided down. And Amazon, last time I looked, they were down 18%. Then we have Apple. Apple just beat on top line and bottom line. That is big. Apple made a joke in our community. This was Tim Cook about 20 minutes ago. He basically had the whole world in his hands. Apple is our general. Our market cap on Apple is 2.32 trillion. So Apple can single-handedly, of course it would take a few more stocks, but it can provide a tailwind for this market. It can't completely offset what Amazon has done as far as earnings miss, but it can help a little bit. Let's look at what happened today. If we look at all the sectors, I talked about this in the pregame show. If you don't follow the pregame show, you can follow me on Twitter. This is who I am, TheChartGuys, if you want to give me a follow. And I post the pregame video there every morning, and I go over setups that I'm looking at and different correlations I'm looking for. And I showed a picture of the heat map from yesterday, and the heat map from yesterday looked very similar to this. The market did not roll over because the generals were red, but everyone else was green, and it takes everyone else to buy and really fight the bears off if our generals are going to be this red. And the same thing goes for tomorrow. If we have this much green, so if we look at this, the majority of this heat map or this carpet is green. It's just our big earnings names that are red. So it's been very unusual to see all of this green surrounding our very big names. So let's see if Apple can turn green and the rest of the market can turn green, and let's set that daily high or low. I'm not saying it's a given, but it is something I'm looking for, is a daily high or low on ES. We have enough room for it compared to 364150. We did reject that daily 50 MA. That's a key level for me, the daily simple moving average, and we rejected there, and we're holding the EMAs. This doesn't look terrible. I don't know that I'd print it for mom's refrigerator, but it doesn't look terrible. And when we look at QQQ on a 2-day, I had not noticed this until this morning. We have a potential 2-day inverse head and shoulders on QQQ. So QQQ is definitely the weaker of the bunch. Delete this drawing. Let's look at it just simply on the daily. A daily higher low is expected compared to 26682, but this is where there's a fly in the ointment or a problem for the bulls. On a bounce, we're anticipating a 4-hour lower high on QQQ because of the size of this pullback. And if we look at it on NASDAQ, you can really see it. Look at the size of this pullback. A lower high is anticipated. If Apple could get a bounce going, we could possibly set a lower high, higher low, and then possibly resolve higher. And that was a lot of possiblies. So let's go back to QQQ, 4-hour lower high anticipated. We do have enough room for a daily higher low. It's not guaranteed. But when we look at it on the weekly, it is ugly. Look at that upper wick of profit taking that has formed. So that's not something that QQ bulls want to see. They want to clean this up. And so they have until close tomorrow to fix this candle. And by fix this candle, I mean buy the dip and remove this upper wick. So we'll be watching this closely. I wouldn't say that QQ bulls have made enough room for a weekly higher low. It's not a shoe-in for sure. So all eyes on QQQ and Apple for tomorrow. So let's look at the dollar. When we look at the dollar, we talked about this on the pregame show. We lost the weekly support. However, this was definitely a chart I wouldn't throw away. This chart was still holding the 8 EMA. We need a candle close below the 8 EMA for the dollar to weaken. We definitely have the consolidation that Dan has been talking to us about for a while. And we're looking for a daily lower high on a bounce. And that is positive news. I'll give it a gold star. That's positive news for the market, for the dollar to be in a daily downtrend and on the next bounce looking for a daily lower high. So IWM, this is not a good look either. The daily chart on IWM has been really helping support the market along with the Dow. We've had growth names with some relative strength, especially yesterday. And they are weakening. You see these upper wicks of bulls just getting really tired. So what we'd like to see is rotation. So, okay, let's go back to our heat map. Okay, thank you, Consumer Discretionary, for propping us up. Thank you, Coca-Cola, for beating. We had a McDonald's beat. We had Honeywell. We had Caterpillar. We had 4 different Dow names that reported, 4 of the 30 Dow names. So if we go look at the Dow, I put Dow on here. I didn't. Let me put that on here real quick. Got it. The Dow was up 155 points today. It was actually up higher before Apple reported. But look at that chart. It has been bullish. It held up the market today. So we had a lot of things that were working, and we may get a rotation. What you want to see tomorrow is, if you're a market bull, is you want to see all these big red blocks. You want to see them green. At least Apple and Microsoft. Amazon had a miss. I don't know if that can happen. We need one of these generals to participate with these other sectors that have been doing the heavy lifting. And this is just a possible 4-hour bull flag. It's not ideal. We have elevated bear volume. You have an upper wick. That's not what you want to see on a bull flag, but it is holding the 8 EMA. All right, let's go look at commodities. Gold. So gold is anticipating a 4-hour lower high compared to 1679. We are holding the 4-hour EMAs. We are in a daily uptrend, but look how it's trapped below that 21 EMA. It's just been unable to get over the 21 EMA, and we're attempting to close here with a daily inside bar. Resistance, again, that's 1679, and support 1653. With this look, odds favor a pullback. We have enough room for a higher low compared to 1641. So if you just kind of hang with me for a bit, if we could get the dollar to bounce on the 4-hour and the daily, set that lower high while gold is pulling back, that could help gold position itself for a potential bounce into early of next week. And I know I'm kind of chunking information, and I'm not attempting to predict, but I'm saying if this, then that, if this, then that. It doesn't mean it will resolve in that form. Oil has been super strong. I am looking for a short in this area. Let me show you why. Odds favor a weekly lower high on oil compared to 93.64. We got a daily uptrend, but look at this zone of congestion up here at 89.66, 89.73, and today 89.79. So I think it presents a decent risk to reward, and you stop out fast. If it gets over $90, you're wrong. On the hourly, it's still healthy, holding the EMA. If we could just get a lower high and roll over, I may not have a chance to trade this evening. I have other things to do. But if I'm around when this hour, or if this hourly lower high is set, I would be interested. Nat gas. Okay, we got a lot of nat gas confusion today. So when we are looking at nat gas, NGZ22, that is the December contract. We have some contango happening between the spot price and futures. So I'm just sticking with the specific futures contract. So we have an hourly lower high that was set. We had inventory today. We have enough room for a higher low compared to 571, but it's not a guarantee at these levels. 4-hour, you're looking for a lower high. We had a pretty big pullback today on inventory, so bears will be looking to top fish that. Bitcoin, oh man, it had a bearish reaction to Amazon and Apple, but it seems to be have a lower wick of bulls buying this dip. On the hourly, we have been hovering here all day, just sitting on the 50 MA, and I know it's a little odd, but it had me looking slightly bullish for earnings this afternoon because Bitcoin was holding on so well. Of course, it gave a lot back during that initial Amazon reaction. They're buying the dip, but a 15-minute lower high is anticipated. On the daily, we just had such a big day yesterday that we have an inside bar today, essentially. We're still squeezing down here. This is the TTM squeeze, if you're not familiar with that. That just basically means the Keltner channel came inside the Bollinger Band and is coiling and creating some pressure. All right, VIX. At the pregame show, I've been drawing these bear flags. It started over here on Tuesday, and it has just been failure, 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 or if you want to, a failure to break out and resolution to the downside on these bear flags. So it is just ever so slightly green, but this is not strength. Where is the fear? Where's the fear in the market? If all of these generals are missing, everyone but Apple, I would anticipate more fear in the market, and it's just not showing up in VIX. You have support in a double bottom at 26.94, 26.95. US 10-year has potential 4-hour, when I was looking earlier, it's already broken bear, a potential hourly bear flag. Looks like we're breaking bear here. And on the 4-hour, next bounce, we're looking for a lower high. Apple, we were looking at it this morning for a top fish against 150. That worked out well. It looks like bulls are buying this dip. Let's look at it on the daily. Are we right now? We're over here. I'm considering this one large move up, so I'm looking for a daily higher low compared to 13437. And hourly is oversold. That's typically a good area to scout a higher low when you have a lot of real estate for that higher low. So Apple does not look terrible. That's not a compliment you give a lady, by the way. You don't look terrible. So I'm basically saying it's not pretty, but it's not a dog either. Amazon, you're a dog. Down 17%. So Amazon is down. COVID level was 81.30. That's going to be a key level tomorrow, 81.30. And it's just been hard not to ignore this inverse cup and handle, which is a reversal pattern for Amazon. It's just been super bearish. So we'll see how this resolves tomorrow. We're down 17%. And we can just anticipate we're going to wake up to downgrades for Amazon. Intel had earnings. Pens had earnings. I'm trying to think of anyone else had a big bear reaction. None that I can think of right now. Oh, I did want to cover bonds. So TLT had an amazing day, actually. TLT was coming on strong. This is bullish divergence for the market. So it was coming up strong. It closed with 1%. And SPY closed down 0.5%. So TLT has some strength. The bonds are finally getting over these daily key EMAs. It hasn't been over the 8 EMA since August 4th. So I think this is a new development that you may want to monitor for a potential trade setup for a higher low compared to 91.85. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry Dan's on vacation. I love filling in. I think I went over everything that he does. Just a slightly different style, but he taught me, so hopefully you can track our different price action discussions. So I hope you have a great evening, and TCGers, I'll see y'all tomorrow.